Hello, Danny dear. So, the things that you said, they they filled my heart with love, and pretty much immediately I was like, okay, she knows what's up. And even more important is that you know what's up. So I had to pick something to put on here for a display, or I wanted to anyway, and this is what I chose. So to be honest, I I was expecting a different kind of response. And what I got was just healing. Like, oh my gosh. It was immense healing. And right before I watched your video, I watched Skyhopper's video where he drew a whole bunch of cards and then basically explained what we were going through with those cards, which is what people do with the tarot, but uh, he did it in such a way, in his own way, where it really connected with a lot of us of like mind and like heart. So a lot of that video, I was just laughing, laughing and feeling. Also, a lot of your video that you sent me, a lot of laughing and feeling as well. Because it was like, I don't, I mean, the only thing I have to offer you is my own experience in engaging the things that you have similar experiences with. And I kind of already sent those recommendations with my initial message massage, which has to do with the breath work, the intensification of breath work, the pressurization, and the realization of what's going on within and without, which you have made it pretty clear that you have been feeling this stuff for a while, and we are a lot alike in many ways. It seems like I keep being drawn towards human beings of the feminine nature, gender, that have a lot of your experiences that you have had, but they do not have the experience of finally coming to a realization like you have. I mean, and that you made that very blatantly obvious. You know what the fuck's going on. And maybe the people around you are worried about you and they don't really know what's going on, but we both know. You know what the fuck's going on. the mental balance, the balancing act has been something I have had to walk across that tightrope for a long time because I did not listen to what was inside. And now that I'm finally coming back to this, and I will say coming back to this again, because this is the cycle I've been in as well, the cycle of remembrance, but then we get to a certain point, we get to a certain point of remembrance where we don't, it just gets back to our origins, why things are the way they are. What we've engaged in the past, as in the first time around. Okay, so yeah, it's a balancing act, and then finally coming back within and basically like remembering how to trust ourselves again, even if those around us that love us unconditionally, they're still working with a certain set of beliefs, a certain set of experiences. So we have to work with that as well and decide what image is appropriate, what image is more factual, what feels more real for us. In the pharmaceutical industry being zombified through these kinds of drugs and opiates, that's something that's also been coming up with me and certain individuals, talking into a little bit more depth about this, the control structure, how this is part of it, and they don't want people to wake up, so this is something that happens. Fortunately, I was never subjected to this. So for people to be able to come out of it like you have, that's some crazy fucking immense power. And to come out of it the way you have, you're something special, and I'm not trying to fucking talk you up or whatever, but, and I mean, I have the same reaction whenever I have people say that to me. It's like, no, I'm nothing special, and especially because I'm still dealing with so much trauma and fucking bullshit that I've been through, that it's hard for me to see what other people see in me. You've mentioned the gang rape in some of your other videos. And that's one of the common factors with the females that the few, I will say, the few, very, very few females that I have engaged with in intimacy. But I believe all of them have had that common factor. And there's no happenstance here. It's for a reason. so that I can help them heal their that masculine side that has taken advantage of them. And eventually, I finally realized this. And then your association with your first engagement with marijuana, that is going to play right into that trauma, as I'm sure you know. As I'm sure you know a lot of this stuff. So, I mean, everything everything I'm saying here is just a reminder for you, because you're so fucking next level. It's amazing to me to have any kind of communion with with you, with people that have the heart that you do. It's fucking beyond words, dude. And it's the same with Angie as well. Like, communicating with her, it's like, oh my gosh, you guys are tugging at the deepest heartstrings that I have, and it's because I'm ready for it. It's because we are all ready for it. And that's why we are sharing this shit, like you've said, you know. But yeah, I've talked about the pharmaceuticals before, and how that shit's fucking... They especially like to throw that shit at indigenous people, as in native people, as in people who have the native roots still deep within their blood and beingness. They really, really enjoy getting those people caught up in the fucking bullshit scripts and the drugs that will numb them. But what we are doing is we are flipping that shit around and upon itself, so that doesn't have to be that big of a deal anymore, because the more and more of us that transmute this shit, the more and more of us are going to feel how to do this for themselves. I appreciate the positive side of the use of the word cull, C-U-L-L. I imagine that you are aware of the esoteric side of it, the calling of a certain people, awareness. But a lot of the things that you said was very much, I mean, I reached out to you originally so that I could potentially shed some light on some things for you, but then the video you made, it was like, you kind of put me in my place. I'll say that. You're like, I know what's up. You're like, shit. Let me tell you some things, youngin. that's the feel I got from that, and it's very much appreciated. And I also am very relieved that you feel these things, because the last thing I would want is for someone that has the awareness and the heartfelt connection and gnosis that you do, to feel like they are being bogged down or held down by anything. And a lot of us are reaching this point now where anything that momentarily may hold us down is only seen as an aid eventually, essentially, for the true message that it's trying to convey, for the message that all life is trying to convey to us. The Creator is trying to speak to us through our experiences, through what is happening through our day-to-day engagements. And you made this very clear that you get this. I mean, that's just obviously the main message I'm going to try to convey to people if I want to help, quote-unquote, help them to help themselves. So, I mean, you made that very clear. That you got it. You know why this shit's going down. So the only thing that I can really offer is my engagements that I have done to cultivate an awareness where whenever I engage these blackouts or these moments where I feel lightheaded or dizzy or out of body, and it's within a place where I'm not engaging, going out of body. It's in a place where I'm engaging, still being in the day-to-day shite. So whenever it happens, I've cultivated many different techniques of and engaged, the techniques that have been around since we have been going through this shit. And I don't care to look it up. I don't care to read about it in a book. I only care about to, feel it, engage it for myself. And whenever I read about quote-unquote masters experiencing these things and what it means, how to deal with it, the only aid that does for me and for a lot of us is it helps to remind us of the path, of where we're at right now. It's just a reflection. And a confirmation of what we are feeling. And I'm experiencing this with all of y'all. And it's fucking nuts. Like the quickness of this that's happening. It's very beautiful. It's humbling. It's very humbling. And I definitely agree with you that we need more rest whenever we are waking up. Not only the body, we are waking up the spirit in every cell within the body. And so that's going to require us to allow and rest and feel and do what we need to do in the moment to remember all of ourselves, all the little aspects and pieces. I definitely know what you're talking about with the tobacco and cannabis spirit quests. That's pretty much my my day-to-day. Yes, indeed. It's deep healing, but then it's to a point where you don't need hardly anything. You just need like a little fucking barely, just that little taste to be reminded of where you can take it, where what you have cultivated. And we have cultivated quite the energy and awareness. Shamanista, and you are you may not realize it, but you are quite the shamanista, and it's very beautiful to hear from you and engage with you on so many levels. Okay, yes, and the and the Orin. I kind of, at this point, I kind of just do as is needed. When I feel and taste that, because sometimes the taste of it is like, okay, I'm not supposed to go ahead and ingest all of this, and I mean, it's pretty strong sometimes. I will go ahead and ingest a little bit, but then other times it's like, it tastes better than any liquid you've ever tasted before, and you're like, okay, I need to take in as much of this as I can. So yes, keep intuiting the fluidity of your own cistern, and recognize and realize the quality of the waters that you're taking in. Our mother wants to have engagement with us, so whenever we plant seeds within her, whenever we are engaging with the fruits, with the growth process of what we're engaging with the mother, that is helping on so many fucking levels. I don't know what I wrote there. How to. Yep, I can't read that. Ooh, the thing you said about wounds and scabs and foundations. I go through that on quite a few levels, especially since I get quite a few injuries and scabs, and realizing how the healing process occurs without and then also within. So yeah, this has been eye-opening, but also just heart-opening, because I was not expecting any of this to come forth or to be received. I mean, I was hoping for it. So, yeah, that's about it for now. If you want to know about any of the breath work or engagements with that, I am more than happy to share that. Because it's been a process for me as well. And I would say it first started with whenever I would lay on my back and then roll my head up, roll my feet and my legs up over my head as much as I could. Whenever I first started doing that, my body could not really get the oxygen, get the blood flow to the brain that it needed. So that's when I really experienced some crazy blackout experiences. And just it's just been a learning experience from there. But I mean, first obviously it starts with the trauma, with the young age shite that we go through. And then we finally get to an age where we're able to engage it on a level that, okay, but we can feel what's really going on here. And you've made it pretty clear that you know what the fuck's going on here. Even if those around you may get a little scared or worried about you, you know where to go, where to trust, where to feel the real. So thank you for your video response, and I hope, if nothing else, this just is more confirmation for you that just to continue the path, continue feeling what you're feeling, continue healing what you're healing and dealing with, because it's a lot. I fucking know, dude. I fucking know it's a lot. I've been to places that I didn't know I was going to come out of or not, and that was at a very young age. So thank you. Thank you for reminding me of where my focus needs to be as well. And hopefully I can help spread this awareness for others and for you and for all of us. Thank you. Thank you for being who you are. I love you, dude. Peace.